the Save the World account on my main account. It's day 301 so far. As far as quests go, I still need to finish my storm shields. I put that in the back burner because I don't like to overbuild, and I also do them solo, so I've been kind of, prepping up for it. I think I'm as prepped as I can be, though. I've maxed out my account. A lot of people don't like to max out their accounts. I do. I mean, I don't really see a point in limiting it when, all you're doing is taking off survivors. This way you have an advantage. You're actually fighting at the level of the husk. But if you want to be level 100, play level 100, you can easily take off some of your survivors. Sometimes I do, just for fun. I'll take 2 of my resistance and EMT squads per every one of my defense squad. Wait, give me a second. Offense and tech. So for every offense and tech I have that I remove, I take 2 of those off. Resistance and fortitude. That's the right name. FORT stats. And that way I can limit my power down whenever I want to have a challenge. I do it every now and then, not a lot, just because I don't really see a point in dropping my level, 29 levels sometimes. But sometimes I do, it's fun. Also, the game has a built-in mechanic. I don't know if you guys have noticed. If I go in and I go to Stonewood, the game will automatically max my power to be the max for whatever level that is. So if you are a person that is in Plankerton and you go back to Stonewood, you and I will be at the same level essentially. The game will limit us to that. We will do the same damage, the same everything. That's another reason why I don't really limit my power, because the game does a pretty good job at limiting your powers as it is. Another thing as far as heroes goes, I did reset a couple of my heroes down to 1 to get my XP back. It's something, you don't have to do. I was thinking of going back on Archaeologist and using her points to, get Bloodfinder AC up, but at this point I'm just going to wait till the new reset loadout rolls around. Mostly my ninjas. I had a couple that were, 130, like Enforcer and, well, that's Cloakstar, but Enforcer's up here. I did reset them back to 1 just because I never use them. I'd rather keep my XP to level up a ninja like Sarah, Harvester to 130, maybe the Shuriken Master just for the ability boost that might come out with the new hero rollout. As far as heroes go, I'm actually kind of excited that they made the Ice Queen into a striker. I wish Striker would have had some kind of armor perk so I could reset him back to 1, and I would have used all of his XP to get the Ice Queen up. But at this point, like I said, I want to wait for the rollout. There's a couple heroes like this guys. Anthony and Carlos. Where's Carlos? He's a soldier. Carlos, that are going to be mythics and are going to be specials, so I want to see what they are and use that XP for that. It takes about 400,000 XP to go from 1 to 130. It takes about 130 something thousand to go from 1 to 82 or 106, something like that. So, this 2 million XP I have is only going to be enough for about 5 heroes from 1 to 130. Just FYI. As far as heroes go, I don't use that many. I mostly use Striker, just because, he can farm. And if you are good at shooting, then you can get the shooting done. As far as my loadout goes, the entirety of the time that I've been playing, I was farming the Frost Knight last night. I still don't think it's worth it. The rewards you get out of it are not that great, in my opinion, but it is a little faster than playing missions. So if you want to, spend some time doing that, go for it. I don't have the need for it, so I don't think it's worth it. But if you do need the materials, it's definitely worth it. Which one did I have here? Sergeant? Yeah, nope. I forgot my own loadout. Assault rifle damage by 24%. This one. This is pretty much my loadout when I play. I get a 24% damage bonus to assault rifles, which is pretty good. I used to use this girl right here, Reclaimer. But I stopped using Reclaimer because her bonus was only making effect on actual energy weapons, not energy perk. You know, like this is energy perk, that was not counting. It was only energy weapons. Mercury LMG, Argon Assault Rifle, which other ones? Neon Sniper. It was only affecting those energy weapons. So I think better use of that perk is assault rifle damage, because that increases on all assault rifles, not just energy specific. Now, I don't know if it's a game mechanic that it doesn't show properly, but in game it does. I don't really run tests with numbers. I don't bother with that. I don't bother farming, but I do have a full storage. Let me show you what I have. I kind of just farm as I go, whatever I find. I don't necessarily go farming for anything specifically. I don't use any level 5-star mats as far as traps go, so I'm piling those up, I guess. Now, as far as traps go, I do have a stack of each trap at 106, a couple of gas traps, just because I was running low on space and I started crafting. Let's see what else. 301 days. Let's see this. I guess what everybody wants to see, right? The item shop. Now, as far as the item shop goes, if you purchase her before the update and you purchase after the update, you end up with 2. Same with the Frost Knight rifle. Survivors, if you buy them every season, you should build up your squad pretty soon. Let's see. Weapons, if you want to buy doubles, you can. And if you're gonna buy the stuff in the store, weeklies, instead of stocking up your weapon, instead of stocking up your points, you can just buy them and recycle them for XP, for trap design points, weapon design points. That's usually what I do. Of course, you want to buy your reperks, and why not? Just so you can have some. Now, if you were like me, I had my schematics up to 1250. I recently recycled about 400 schematics out of them. I was saving all of my purples that were not one of a time kind of thing, or blues. And recently I recycled them all. I recycled about 400 of them. And the results were actually kind of cool. I kind of knew Epic was going to do this. Back in June, July, I sent them an email letting them know, hey, why don't you guys allow recycling of perks if you have a gun? And that's when they introduced the reperks. I perked up a gun, one of these guys, a bazooka, that had snare damage. And at that point I was like, crap, I spent all these perks on this gun and it's useless because I only want the one with affliction. So it was like 2 in the morning. I emailed Epic, let them know, hey, you guys should allow reperks and perk ups to be recycled when you recycle a gun. And that's precisely what they've done. I was saving my schematics for that exact reason. My brother criticized me once because he's like, why don't you just recycle those blues and purples? I mean, they're taking up space. But, I've been doing fine with space buying the upgrades. And now, it just shows a little bit that if you plan ahead, you can get ahead. This game is no different than anything else. So I recycled that bazooka the other day when it came up, and now my Santa's Little Help is fully perked up. And not only that, but the one thing I was always low on was the reperks, because I'm always changing the perks in my guns to damage, reload speed, damage. That's usually my loadouts. I messed up with the pain train, but I'll fix it later. And now I have like 16,000 of those and 15,000 of those on top of my schematics. Being all, every schematic that I have that is 82 or above pretty much is all blue, except for a couple that I chose not to work on, just because I don't think I'm ever going to use them. But, I did get that one. I'm never going to use it. Gotta change. Not bad. Anyways, so these are my current schematics at day 301. I have my 130s. I just have a couple of them just because you can do downgrade now. And they come useful every now and then, especially when soloing a mission. A 104 player. Then the 106s that I have, I should probably stick to guns. Yeah, there we go. I favorited this one because this one's my obsidian obliterator, so I can craft a crap ton of them and give them to my defenders. When doing missions with lower level people and high level twine peaks, 4-player missions, the defenders do wonders. When you're doing solo missions, your defenders can also help you do wonders, so you don't have to be running around banging everything. You can just, defend one side and trust that your defenders will get the other side, and most of the time they do. They do a pretty good job. You just have to run back and forth a little bit. Let's see. 106s. Need to work on that. I don't have that many gold perks. I mean, I have the main ones. Gravedigger, Hacksaw, Mercury, Santa's Little Helper, Dam Buster. That one I'm working on, but not really. My Bobcat is awesome. I wish it was affliction damage though.